Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Make Accessibility Seamless with Glassbox. We're excited to show you how Glassbox transforms real user sessions into accessibility insights, streamlining compliance and improving digital experiences. Leading today's session is Joe Crawford, our Global Head of Solution Engineering. With more than 20 years of experience in digital analytics and customer experience, Joe will walk us through how Glassbox accessibility works and the impact it can have. All right, take it away, Joe.
Hey, thank you, Emma. Wow, when you said 20 years, that really made me feel like, wow, have I really been here that long? Gray hairs are here to prove it. But thank you so much, Emma. I'm really happy to be here today. Today we are, like Emma mentioned, we're going to talk about the new feature that Glassbox is providing called Glassbox Accessibility. I have here with me Mike Zimmer, Solutions Engineer here at Glassbox, and we're going to give you an idea of what Glassbox is providing and how we're tackling accessibility, something really, really big in the industry and helping us to be able to solve those problems for your digital assets. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Excellent. In today's world, accessibility is becoming even more and more important. It's no longer optional. It's now a global expectation. In the European Union, new rules have come out in actually this year, June 2025, providing more regulations around accessibility. And then in April of 2026, the American Disability Act will begin enforcing regulations around accessibility. Today there are about 1 billion people who suffer from some form of disability, whether it's visual, auditory, mobile challenges, or cognitive or comprehension challenges. These challenges can impact how customers interact with our digital platforms today. Accessibility is about inclusion, compliance, and protecting our brands. And we can see here when accessibility falls short in our organization, when it's kind of put to the back burner, we pay the price. There was a situation there at Charles Schwab where there's a big settlement where Charles Schwab had to go back and redo a lot of their websites on Schwab.com, on the Schwab mobile app, because they failed to comply with web content accessibility guideline standards. We also saw with Morgan Stanley, there was a class action suit that required payouts, system audits, and staff training, just because of there were some challenges with the people that had visual impairment. They weren't able to use their screen readers to be able to access their core tools at Morgan Stanley. So, again, accessibility is real. When we don't acknowledge it, don't work with it, it becomes very costly, and ultimately it affects our customers from accessing our products. Achieving digital accessibility is usually completed in two phases. The first phase is pre-production. So when you're in UAT or QA, we identify a lot of issues and we try to fix accessibility issues there offline. And then after our site or our digital app goes live, we monitor our site to ensure customers never encounter the issues that we supposedly fix. Both stages are essential to protecting the user experience. There's a few ways that we use, that few tools that people typically use that I've seen in working with different customers that they use to address accessibility gaps. There are extensions that are installed in the browsers. There are crawlers that are used to crawl the entire site to find accessibility issues. And then there's rulers or overlays that kind of fix issues as they occur. A lot of times these tools they fall short. With extensions, they typically only work with non-authenticated pages. Crawlers do the same thing. When there's dynamic content or there's authenticated pages that these crawlers or extensions can't reach, we miss a lot of things that our users may be interacting with. And also, some of the overlays can interfere with users' preferred assisted technologies, such as screen readers or magnifiers. They may disable user settings, and they also force them to learn new, unfamiliar tools. It gives them a false sense of security because it's just an overlay. It doesn't really fix the problem. None of these tools actually provide an actual view of the human experience. So even if you patch issues one by one, static tools don't really show you how real people are experiencing your site. Without that user context, you're guessing and not really knowing. So where this is where Glassbox actually comes in. So as some of you may already know, I think I see a lot of our at Glassbox clients here on the line. You know that Glassbox is able to monitor your sessions in real time. Glassbox is the first and only CX platform that can tie real session data into accessibility insights, and it closes the gap between audits and live user experience. With this new accessibility paradigm, no crawlers, no extensions, no rulers are needed. Glassbox accessibility becomes part of the digital experience itself. We're able to detect issues from real sessions. We're able to generate AI-powered code snippet for fast fixes for your development teams. And we give you aggregated reports so you can track compliance proactively. So you don't no longer have to scramble for reports and pull things from different places. Glassbox is a one-stop shop for your customer experience and helps you to comply to the WCAG standards in real time. Glassbox accessibility also unites every stakeholder in the accessibility journey. So you have QA employees that are analyzing issues in real time. We have developers that are trying to reproduce and remediate issues. Glassbox helps to bring these teams together. The managers are able to monitor compliance in real time, and customers ultimately reap the benefits because issues are resolved as soon as they are discovered. So finally, everyone has a single source of truth, so that you can have a better way, ultimately a better way of working. And we have customers that are using this right now. We can ultimately see that this saves a lot of time, a lot of frustration. It resolves a lot of the finger pointing that typically occurs in organizations, and you can ultimately get the customers, make the customers happy and satisfied by addressing some of the issues that they may be facing. QA teams can use, here's a screenshot here of the Glassbox accessibility check. QA teams typically use this to see how often users issues occur. They can see which standards fail on each page, and they can actually drill into the sessions to understand impact. There's no more guessing. There's no more looking at QA or test screens. You can actually look at how real users are interacting with your sessions and digital assets. Hovering over issue shows exactly where it appears on the page. We can see issues with non-compliant interactive elements. We can see issues with contrast and things like that, and you can see that again clearly. And this is actionable and it's in real time. And there's another really cool feature that I like. Here, the developers can use our Glassbox Insights Assistant to explain exactly what the issue is, why it matters, how it's failing, one of the WCAG standards. And it also gives the developers a copy and paste code snippets to remediate the issue on the spot. I was at a conference maybe about a month ago, and I was demonstrating this to some product managers. And I actually kind of had a demo of their actual page. I won't tell the customer who I was working with, but as I was demoing this, the product manager got so excited to see an actual fix. They were taking screenshots with their phone of the fix and texting their developers right there on the spot. It's like, guys, you got to fix this right now. Glassbox has shown us what the issues are. Let's get this resolved. So that was really cool. Again, real time analysis of what the issue is and being able to fix it, and sharing again with your developers or other stakeholders, what the issues are so that you can get it resolved. So really cool feature. We also allow you to aggregate the reports. So not just seeing individual sessions, but we have aggregated dashboards that rank pages by severity and providing clear accessibility scores. So some of you may be familiar with Glassbox's struggle score. Now we have an accessibility score, so you can kind of get a gauge of your accessibility performance on each of your pages and digital assets. This is really helpful for a lot of the compliance teams that can get a bird's eye view of how well their site is performing. Glassbox continuously monitors every session, checking it against WCAG standards automatically, and you can catch issues before they actually impact other customers, impact your customers there. I had one other example that I want to give you a real live case here where um, the customers, this customer that I was working with, they were using Glassbox, and they had their site going through QA testing and things like that, and they thought they caught all the QA issues, all the accessibility issues in QA, but they didn't realize. Think about the fact that they were using third-party integrations. So some of the elements on the page were being supported by third parties, and um, all of their stuff was okay. This customer's, website was okay, but the third-party integration frames on their page had a lot of accessibility issues, and they were getting flagged by their customers and other compliance monitors saying that, hey, your site is not compliant. And so it wasn't just your developers, but you also have to look at third-party integrations as well. Allows you to stay compliant with that as well. So even if it's not your fault, Glassbox allows you to look at third-party integrations to make sure that those are compliant as well. So that was a really cool use case that I was able to uncover, and it actually helped the customer quite a bit in resolving the cases that were really out of their control. And even after remediation of the accessibility issue, we still, of course, record 100% of the sessions, and we detect new issues as they emerge. So you always know your current compliance status. Glassbox provides an unmatched accessibility solution, from setup to scanning to remediation and monitoring. Compared to traditional tools, the setup is effortless. It's just a matter of installing the Glassbox tag or SDK, and we're collecting all your sessions. And automatically, we're able to run accessibility checks on all pages for your site or mobile app. Scanning happens automatically for every session. Remediation is AI-based instead of low-quality overlay suggestions, and monitoring is continuous, not sporadic. Okay, so now we're actually going to see the accessibility module in real time. I'm going to hand it over to my coworker here, Mike Zimmer, to be able to show that demo in real time. All right, Mike, hand it over to you.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and start sharing here, and we'll see what this looks like live. So let me just clean up a few floating controls, and we are good to go. So perfect. So I'm going to show you how it works in an actual environment where we have it installed, and how easy it is, but at the same time, how powerful it is to be able to get the insights in terms of accessibility issues that Joe was just describing. So to make it work, all I have to do is hit a button here that says accessibility check. And if I do that, what's going to happen is the system is going to go ahead and run an accessibility test on the content of this page and come back with the results. Now, you have the ability to easily filter on different qualitative levels like critical, serious, moderate, or minor. But you also have the ability to get more granular about that. So, for example, let's say your organization adheres to WCAG standards 2.1 AA and below. I can include those only in the test. And now that's what I'm going for. So depending on the conformance and version levels of the WCAG standards, you can adjust that to conform with your organization. Now, if I dig into any one of these, let's just pick on insufficient color contrast. We'll just pick on this. I open this up and it will show me exactly where each one of these issues is. But then if I go into the details of this, what we get is what Joe was just describing. A description of the issue. So this got hit because it's out of conformance with the 4.1 to 5 ratio. It's also giving me links to the standards, right? So if I want to look at the exact kind of wording of the WCAG standard from the W3C, I have a link to that documentation. So I can see exactly what the concept is here, the detailed information behind why that got flagged. And then, in addition, a little bit below the fold here, what I have is our agent called GIA, which is essentially the artificial intelligence agent that we are using for the GIA Insights that is giving me additional information about why this is important. But most importantly, like to Joe's point, it's giving me the code to actually resolve the issue right here. So this is incredibly powerful, but at the same time, incredibly simple to use. And it is monitoring your real traffic in real time, 24/7. That simple. Let me turn it back over to Joe to finish up, I think, with some examples. Thanks, Joe.
Hey, thank you, Mike. That was great. See, there's a few questions in the chat. I think, Emma, what we'll do is we'll get into the frequently asked questions and the questions here at the end, and we'll start addressing some of those questions in just a few seconds. All right, let me share my screen. You guys can see my screen. Excellent. All right, so let's look into a real world example. Where we had in this case, the challenge was that we had a company that was they had some accessibility compliance requirements, and the way they were monitoring for these accessibility challenges here was that they were crawling pages, tracking issues and Excel spreadsheets, and using an algorithm to score the page accessibility. So this is a very heavy manual process. And then, Glassbox was able to come in and help to automate the solution. So as you can imagine, saving tons and tons of time by replacing spreadsheets with real reports and saving their engineers countless number of hours. They were able to streamline the WCAG compliance and got results much, much faster. This is a huge win for the company and a huge win for Glassbox as well. And I know again, there's a lot of other methods. Some of you guys out there, again, are facing a lot of compliance challenges too with accessibility. You may have different ways of monitoring it. But again, at the end of the day, it's about making it easy, serving your clients faster, and also connecting all of the groups that have a stakeholder that have a stake in making sure accessibility is working fine for your end users, whether that's the QA teams, whether that's the monitoring and compliance teams, whether it's your product managers, whether that's your developers. Having one way to look at all of this information and acting on it is a huge win. And their feedback says it all. It said they told us that Glassbox knocked it out of the park. They were able to show these reports to their senior management teams. And again, showing not only how they were able to help their customers quickly, but help their developers, product managers, and engineers save time in resolving these issues. Cool. As we wrap up our webinar for today, I just want to kind of reiterate how the Glassbox accessibility delivers true digital accessibility monitoring. We improve the accessibility management lifecycle, we prepare you for new regulations, and we help you to grow through inclusive experiences. This isn't just about avoiding lawsuits. This isn't just about checking the boxes. This is about making sure that your customers are having the ultimate frictionless experience with all of your digital assets. This allows your sites to rank higher and better in search, and it attracts new audience. It also helps to include people that some of your competitors may be leaving behind. Some of the people, some people that we may not realize having challenges with our site. Having this tool allows you to make sure that everyone is included and can get the most out of your digital assets. So I want to thank you again for this for your time today. We'll open it up for any questions here. Emma, I'll let you just kind of help me to read some of the questions off, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Right. Thanks so much, Joe and Mike, for sharing your expertise and truly how powerful it is to have Glassbox accessibility surface these insights for websites. All right, so some questions are coming in. Also love seeing the comments showing that, yeah, this is powerful. This is exciting. All right, Joe and Mike, does Glassbox provide the remediation code for issues found in third-party tools as well?
Yes, the answer is yes. So everything that Glassbox captures, it performs an accessibility check on that. And yes, in the example that I work with another client, we were able to capture the issues that the third party integration faced, and we were able to show how to remediate those issues. And they went back to the third party vendor and told them, hey, these things need to be resolved. So we were able to get that.
Awesome. Okay, what console version is the accessibility monitoring contained in?
Yeah, so it starts with 7.2.210, but that has to be enabled on each console. So if you don't see it yet on your version, on your version of Glassbox, reach out to your account manager and they can work to get that enable. So it has to be enabled for you guys to be able to see it.
Okay, great. When will mobile monitoring be available?
Yeah, so that's a great question. That is coming up toward the end of fourth quarter. So that is something that we are working on quite diligently, and our CTO said that that will be available by the end of the quarter.
Perfect. Okay, let's just go to a couple more. How frequently do accessibility rules get updated?
Great question. So the accessibility rules don't change often, but when new standards are introduced, our R&D teams move quickly to support them. So you guys may see patches and patch updates to the console to make sure that the standards are updated. The WCAG 2.2, I think, is the most recently released version of the WCAG standards. That was released in October 2023. So it's not super frequent, but we keep an eye on when those new releases come out. And then our goal is to make sure that we stay aligned with the market, updating the rules as soon as they come out.
Perfect. Okay. Can the solution detect all dynamic content accessibility problems?
Yes, it's another great question. Yes, Glassbox captures 100% of the real user interactions, including dynamic content like pop-ups or modals, personalized and authenticated areas of the screen or on your site. So yeah, so those accessibility issues are spotted in every scenario where users may interact or experience it. So even if the content is lazy loaded, it'll be captured and we can make recommendations on how to fix if there are any issues on that part of the screen.
Great. And I know we touched on this a little bit in the demo. A question came through, do we have aggregate reporting?
Yes, we do. So that is currently released. There's a minimum viable product, an MVP of the aggregate reporting. I think in another month or so, that also will be available for you guys to use in general availability for the product. So that was what our developers just told us last week. So you should see that
Perfect.
in enable.
Okay. Anything else you want to share, Joe, about why this is so great? And then I think we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, there are some other tools that are out in place. One of the things that makes Glassbox stand out, there are a couple of things that makes Glassbox stand out. One is the fact that we can monitor in real time. And we take it a step forward by giving you an AI feature that allows you to remediate the problems and give you suggestions on how to fix it. So those are huge, and then it also ties in with the ultimate customer experience that Glassbox is monitoring, and gives you a one-stop shop for your digital experience analytics. So that's one of the main kind of differentiators for Glassbox.
Great. Thanks everyone for joining with us and taking time out of your day to learn more about Glassbox accessibility. Feel free to visit our site for more information, and this webinar will be up on our site soon, so you can refer to it again. If you are a current customer, feel free to reach out to your account manager to get in touch as to when you can turn this on. Appreciate you joining with us today. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.